NDTV now, a day after that horrific car bomb attack in which one of the Israeli diplomats was seriously injured, is Israel's ambassador to India, Mr. Alain Ushpiz. So thank you so much for speaking to us today. You know, Israel was very quick to point the finger at Iran soon after this incident happened. Indian authorities, at least publicly, have been more cautious. Is your information on Iran's involvement based on very specific intelligence or based on what has happened in the past?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me. I would like to open by saying one thing which I think is the most important thing for us. It is heartwarming to get the messages of support, of a very close and intimate friendship from Indians and from the leadership of India. Now, you've asked an important question, and I would like to refer to it by touching upon two elements. As you well know, we do not touch upon intelligence issues and overall security issues in the public domain. But from time to time, there is advantage in looking at the forest and not only at the trees. And you are speaking here about a state, a country, Iran, that has been calling openly for this destruction of the state of Israel and for the killing of civilian, innocent Israelis. You are speaking about a country that only a couple of weeks ago planned a cold-blooded assassination of the Saudi ambassador in Washington. You're speaking here about a country that more than 15 years ago planned a vicious bombing of the Israeli embassy in Buenos Aires and the Jewish Community Center in Buenos Aires. These people have just tried a couple of weeks ago to kill and assassinate Israelis and Jews in Bangkok, and just the other day in Tbilisi. This is something that was planned in Tehran. The cradle of this is a terror sponsoring state, which is Iran.
That would be a big worry here in India, obviously, for many reasons. And one of them would be that it would be the first time then a foreign group, as it were, would have carried out an attack like this. We have no known links in the past to Hezbollah ever striking in India. Now, I know you can't share sensitive security matters, but do you have reason to believe that when they carried out this attack, it was done with the help of local handlers, it was done with the help of local people, or they carried it out themselves? Is there anything you can tell us on that?
Once again, it is a very strict policy of ours not to relate to defense and security and intelligence issues in the public domain. I just want to say one thing. We have probably the highest level of confidence and trust and cooperation with the relevant Indian authorities. We are very grateful for the help and for the measures that these relevant agencies are taking, also in order to protect us, not only Indians. At the end of the day, we are guests at your homes. I would like also to add at this point that we are very grateful to the medical teams of the New Delhi hospital that is taking care of our own flesh and blood. I've spoken with the doctors, with the nurses, with the managers of this hospital last night, and I can tell you that we owe these people a big one. They are the ones responsible for the well-being of one of our own.
So may I ask you whether any specific information on suspects has been handed over to the Indian government? Again, I know it's sensitive and hard to talk about it on record, but this is what we're hearing from the Indian government, that your side has some specific information on a couple of suspects that has been passed on. How closely are you working with India on this? Are your experts and your security experts here as well to work on this?
Well, I would just like to say that in continuation to what I've just said a minute ago, we have a very, very close cooperation, working relationship with India, not only on these issues, but on a very wide range of issues. If anyone thinks that by targeting an innocent woman carrying an Israeli diplomatic passport at the heart of New Delhi, the capital of the biggest democracy in the world, he's going to undermine this cooperation between these two important countries, I think he should wake up and smell the coffee. This is not going to happen.
Let me ask you a diplomatic question rather than a security one, which is that you know that India has good relations with Israel now, and India has also relatively good relations with Iran, which is why when this news first came out yesterday, I think there was some sort of surprise that Iran would do this on Indian soil. Did that take you by surprise, that given that India is one of the few countries that still gives Iran some support in the world community today, that Iran would do something like this in India?
Well, I have to say that my personal opinion about this is that the minute a country, a group of people or an individual crosses the path of the ultimate evil, which in my eyes is planning the killing of a fellow human being, there are no limits to what such a kind of person or a group can do. And it doesn't really matter if it happens in Washington, as I said, or in Buenos Aires, or in Delhi, or in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. This is an international menace, and it can be tackled only by us, all of us, not only Indians and Israelis, all of us working together to fight it.
Finally, sir, given everything that's happened and with you sticking to your accusation that Iran is behind this, in a sense, would Israel tell India that this is a wake-up call for New Delhi and its ties with Iran?
We are not that presumptuous. India is a great country. The foreign policy of India is decided in New Delhi, not in any other place. We have the full respect and appreciation to your decision-making. We have a very frank and friendly and transparent dialogue with Indian leadership. India knows exactly what we think about the threats that Israel is dealing with. And we discuss it in the spirit of friendship, but also we put our views very much in the clearest way possible on the table.
Thank you very much for joining us, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
NDTV's cricket app, Android and iPhone. Fastest scorecard, special analysis, and much more. Download free. ndtv.com/apps.